Have you ever heard the term RMD? It stands for Required Minimum Distribution, and it's a topic that brings up a lot of questions for folks. So here to help us navigate through that and other important retirement questions, we have Ohio's retirement coach, Greg Taylor, who of course is the president of Legacy Retirement Group and the host of Winning Retirement Radio. Greg, always good to see you on a Monday morning.
Hey, good to be here.
All right, so every Monday we've been asking viewers to send in questions that you can answer for them. So we're going to start with one. This one came from Gail. She has a question, as I mentioned, about RMDs. Now she says, how do you take the RMD if you have multiple accounts, like an IRA, a 403B, and a 401k?
Well, first of all, people need to understand at 70 and a half, the year in which you turn 70 and a half, you have to take what's called a required minimum distribution. Now, the interesting part is if you have multiple IRAs, individual retirement accounts, you can take all of the required amount from all, say you had 3 of them, you could take the required amount from all 3 from just one. However, if you have an IRA and a 401k, you must take your required minimum distribution from each one of them separately.
Okay.
Now, if you have multiple 403bs, for instance, so say you're a teacher and you have 403bs, which are tax sheltered annuities. If you have multiple of those, you can take it all from one of those. But if you had a 401k, a 403b, and an IRA, you must take your distribution from each one separately.
Okay, so it depends all the accounts you have, and most people do have multiple, so they probably have to look into that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, now Gail submitted a second question. She writes in this one, my husband will be claiming his Social Security in a few years. I don't have enough credits to get Social Security, but would like to know if I still can qualify for the spousal benefit, which is 50% of his.
The answer to that is yes, but you have to wait until he claims his benefits. Then you will be eligible as long as you're age 62 or older. You can then qualify for spousal benefits.
Okay, so
yes.
She's got it coming.
Yes.
There you go. All right, question number 3, Greg. Now this one about Medicare, and so many people, and we have talked about this, in your retirement years need to think about medical expenses. So this one is, will Medicare cover all of my medical expenses in retirement?
Well, the answer to that is no, but Medicare does a pretty good job. You have what's called a Part B deductible. Part B is the deductible on your medical care. Part A deductible is your deductible on hospitalization. And then there is a maximum time frame in the hospital that Medicare pays. And then on the medical side, after the deductible, Medicare pays 80% of the approved amount, and you're responsible for 20% of the approved amount. And in Ohio, the doctors are not allowed to do what is called balance billing. So if the doctor, let's say, charges $1,000 and Medicare only approves $500, then the doctor has to accept $500 as the entire amount. Medicare would then pay 80% after the deductible, and you would owe 20%, which in this case would be around $100.
Okay, gotcha. They can't charge that higher amount just because they feel like it, obviously.
Right. And a lot of retirees buy what are called Medicare supplement policies to supplement what Medicare doesn't pay.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, last question for this one, Greg. Can I convert my traditional IRA funds into a Roth IRA? And you always talk about the benefits of the Roth, so I'm sure many people wonder this.
Yes, you can. And it's really available to anyone, regardless of your age, regardless of your income. If you have a traditional IRA, you can convert that over to a Roth IRA. Now, there's strategies involved, because if you had $200,000 in your IRA, you might not want to do that all at once, because that could, anything you pull out of a traditional and convert over to a Roth is going to be taxable income in that year. So you want to use a strategy of getting it over maybe over time to make sure you don't throw yourself up into a really high tax bracket and create a major tax just to convert it.
Okay, so you have to be strategic. All right, Greg, we do want to remind folks you're getting these questions from viewers who might be sitting out there and wondering, about their personal situation. So you are now accepting those at questions@ohiosretirementcoach.com. So send those in, put your name, your phone number, be brief about it, but you want to help people out.
We really do. We really encourage people to send in those questions. And for one, it helps us understand what people are thinking and what their real concerns are. The second thing is we just want to answer anything we can to be a help.
Okay, sounds perfect. Again, that email address is at the bottom of the screen, so be sure to send those in. Greg's not going away. Coming up after the break, we're talking about how low interest rates are affecting baby boomers.